The increase in sea level in the coast region is one of the many consequences of climate change facing the country. According to scientists, this is a major concern that might lead to loss of life and even property in the future, appealing to the stakeholders in the Africa Climate Summit to come up with a policy framework that will advise on providing solutions. Kevin Mutai has that story from the county of Mombasa.
The impacts of climate change is evident in various parts of the coast region, research data showing a rise in the sea level. This is a crisis that has been attributed to the melting of the icebergs in the Arctic as a result of greenhouse gas emissions, causing temperatures to rise rapidly, therefore forcing water to retreat to land.
There are three major consequences of climate change. Of course, the increased aridity, the sedimentation, and then the sea level rise. But of all these, one that is impacting the coast and which we can observe is definitely the increasing sea level.
A report from the United Nations Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change also shows that the projections on global sea levels are likely to rise over 1 meter in the coming years. Researchers are now calling for a united response to address the threat, endorsing the science-led solutions to combat the climate change crisis.
I've been doing a research from 1990 up to 2020 using the satellite data, where I'm assessing the impact of shoreline change to the natural environment and specifically the mangroves. And I found that the shoreline erosion has caused uprooting of the mangroves, and also the sediment that has been washed away has been deposited to other mangrove zones. And what is happening is that where the sediment has been deposited, the mangrove are dying because the rooting system has been covered with the sediment.
There are reports of massive bleaching of coral reefs affecting the abundance and composition of fish species. This has negatively affected coastal fisheries sector, which is one of the economic mainstay of the region.
Imesababisha ukosefu wa samaki, na hata kulikuwa kuna viumbe ambavyo vilikuwa vikipatikana kama mazoba ama ni crabs, pia tulikuwa tukizivua hapa, lakini kutokana na hiyo climate change pia viumbe kama hivyo pia tuvipati tena.
To fight climate change, we need a concerted effort, both the north and the south. And what we are now doing in the COP28, we shall be doing what we call global stock taking. So it means the African will have the opportunity through the African Climate Week to also initiate the process. What are we going to report as Africa, our achievement since the Paris Agreement 2015? Each of the countries signed the nationally determined contribution, NDCs. So it is in the COP meeting and it is in the African Climate Week that we shall be seizing those opportunities and looking at how do we now, as Africa, we will be seeking for what we call loss and damage fund.
Some of the disasters include the drought, which has triggered conflicts among communities fighting over the scarce resources. According to the National Climate Action Plan 2018-2022, at least 3.4 million Kenyans were severely food insecure, and an estimated 500,000 people did not have access to water. The sea level rise is projected to affect up to 86,000 people every year and lead to coastal erosion and wetland loss at an annual cost of about 6 billion shillings by 2030. Kevin Mutai, NTV, in the county of Mombasa.
Kevin Mutai and his story take us to our first break on NTV.